Yeah, so it needed to be like rounded off and like, you know, some basic wiring because it's cheap. So like I bought it thinking that I would like learn how to do stuff myself, and then it's been sitting in the closet for like 6 years. So fortunately I have Franco here and you're helping out today.
Franco, you're gonna have to give a lesson or two. Welcome to Crimson Guitars, welcome to not my workshop, not even my home workshop. I am in Franco's Guitar World, the side of stage for Avril Lavigne's current tour, which is Greatest Hits Tour. We don't have another mic, so we're just going to have to get all. Franco is one of the two techs on this tour, two guitar techs on this tour. I'm assuming there's more techs.
Yes.
I need to spend more time in this environment. I'm still going to keep on building guitars, but I like this.
It is a lot of fun.
Hell of a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work goes into it. Long days, long hours at times, but
Tour buses.
yeah, they're quite comfortable though.
Yeah. Is it still the rule that thou shalt not shit on the tour bus?
Correct. Yes, that's still a thing, even in 2024.
This is good. Anyway, look, Franco, we ran into each other at Glastonbury Festival. I was there building a guitar in a field because I literally had the option to just go as a punter, and I still decided to build a guitar. This guitar needs some work, and it's on stage tonight. Anyway, there's somebody waiting to talk to us, so I'm going to stop doing this.
Burn it.
I am going to do a quick and dirty level crown polish, get this guitar ready for the gig tonight. By quick and dirty, I mean quick, totally professional and absolutely impeccable level crown polish. Okay, so this guitar, we are not after something that plays at a feather touch. It is going to be beaten. The frets are absolutely mullered. This thing has been well played and well played for a time. And at this stage, it's just started buzzing. It's amazing the sort of damage you can get away with on a fretboard or on frets before you have to go. But when you have to, you really have to. I am going to measure, take note of what the action actually is. And once we've done the level, we're going to have to adjust things a little bit. So yeah, it's relatively high, just over 2 millimeters. Okay, so this is Dave Immerman's Taylor. It's been well used, well played, and the frets have now come to a sticky end. Taylor used to have a bad reputation for their fret wire, and the story goes that they initially chose really soft fret wire because they would fret the entire neck and then use angle grinders or a bench grinder or something to just grind the whole lot off, and soft fret wire did that and made the production so much faster. They were getting too many instruments being sent back, so they went to the opposite end of the spectrum and went for intensely hard, heavy custom fret wire that they had made that also failed because they didn't understand that very, very hard stuff is also very, very brittle and has another host of problems. Now they use standard fret wire that just works. I'm going to do a level crown polish. I have now internalized and written down the measurements, how it feels, and we're going to go try and replicate that after some work. I have not got many of my tools here. We've got some Crimson tools because, yeah, of course we do. In this case, I do not want to remove the strings. I just want to get them out of the way. And while I'm going, we're getting ready for a playthrough, and yeah, it's all happening. Okay, adapt, improvise, overcome. Just using a patch cable. It's relatively soft and will hold the strings out of my way. This is maybe me saying that you don't necessarily need to buy the specific expensive tools for certain jobs. Part of the Luthier tool industry actually is people just inventing things for the sake of inventing things. A patch lead and a little bit of masking tape, and I've managed to solve my problem. Absolutely. Still, please go and buy Crimson's tools. I would appreciate the support, just so the lead doesn't damage things. A little bit of tape there, and I have got all the access I need. So I came here basically via one sleep, straight from Glastonbury Festival. My tools are still in the back of the van and are not accessible, but Franco has got everything we need, and a fun guitar to play with. And here you can see the sheer extent of the fretware. So this is not a Crimson notch straight edge. I didn't tape it up. When did you tape that up?
Before you got here.
Before I got here. Genuinely, I do not trust aluminium straight edges at all. The material moves too much, especially you're going from a really hot stage to a cold bus, etc. Aluminium moves. So Franco, when you're on tour,
Yes.
you're basically taking all of your own tools with you, yes?
Yes, ideally in a perfect world. Funny story, when we were rehearsing with this guitar, I asked my colleague, how often on these bigger tours do we do, fret level and crowns? And he said, he quoted Office Space, the neighbor. He's like, no, man, you get your ass kicked for saying something like that around here,
So, hey guys, Franco is going to be popping over to Crimson after this tour to, well, I think we should do a bill together potentially.
I would love to.
Your expertise is predominantly wiring and fireballs, and wiring and electronics and fireballs, and
I'm sensing a theme here.
smoke and fireballs. While you're staying with me,
Sacrifices.
we should melt this down into something.
The tubes of
Just a
fireball
ritualistic, yeah. There was I was a sort of 16-year-old, and I bought this book thinking it was going to be great, and it offended me so much and how badly it was written that I actually burnt a book. I kind of feel the same way about cheap tools.
Our lighting director is a magician, and he taught me the formula to make sparks into the fireball. Aluminum powder.
Oh, really? Now the point here obviously is that I want to see where I'm removing material, where I'm not removing material, and especially in this kind of an environment and with this kind of light, it's important, in my opinion, to use a Sharpie on the top of the frets. It'll help me to diagnose any other issues as they occur. I'm going to assume that we don't have any loose frets and that everything's nicely seated. I will, however, once I start filing, be able to hear what's going on. As fun as this is, I wish I'd had a little bit more time to prepare. I've got so many cool tools that we're in the process of developing that it would have been fun to test in anger on a stage.
I'll be a guinea pig.
You'll be a guinea pig. You will be a guinea pig. So you can hear that the sound is not changing at all. Listen to this. You can hear that this is nice and solid. If we had a fret that was loose and not well seated, you'd hear a whispery noise as you went over that fret. Because of the radius of the fretboard and the fact that the file is nice and flat, I'm only taking off, or only hitting a relatively narrow section of the fret. So I need to very carefully move all the way along evenly. There's so many things to look at around here. I can't concentrate on you guys, sorry. This is fun. I'm not supporting the neck. I'm not putting any pressure on the neck with my hand under here. I'm double checking that I'm not putting too much pressure from the other side. So I'm feeling it to see if it moves. At this stage, on a guitar that I've never worked with before, I have found certain necks that move even if you breathe on it. And that's another way of diagnosing what could be a problem with an instrument when you work on them. So I'm just feeling the stability and making sure I don't knock, this rock star's guitar off the flight case. So here we are, still a few divots. It's going to take a while to get them out. The interesting thing about the fret wire is with harder frets you can feel the file skating over the top, but on this one it's catching the file rather than allowing it to skate over the top. Now, even though I'm only chasing divots on this side, I don't want to change the radius on the top of the frets from what it was, so I'm leveling the top of every fret across the entire radius. If I wasn't filming, I'd be blowing all the dust off, but I love the way it looks.
That was also a very ball that we used to tell if the neck was bowing.
Okay, hold on. So what, the dust from the frets would help you to figure out where there were dips and bows in the neck?
Because there would be more dust on one area than another. And we could see like where the neck showed us versus any sort of leveling beam or not straight edge couldn't. Like just this weird little divot, maybe in the center of the fretboard, maybe somewhere wacky, but the dust would never lie.
We need to,
Yeah, Ernie Ball taught me so much.
a problem that I genuinely have is that I try and make a £10,000 guitar that we're selling for 3 or 2 even. And I told the guys recently that I needed to be told when to wind my neck in. Am I asking for a level of perfection that is just unattainable at the price point that we're aiming for or not? And I suffer.
It is, it's just finding where the kinks in the armor in production are. Like we had a bunch of Sabres coming back, new models of Music Man coming back with the same problems. And then that's when we discovered, well, if it's that same problem, then it must be in this department. And that's when we streamline and focus, and that's where things get cheaper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or more affordable, I should say.
Well, or more profitable. I love learning what other people do. And
that's just the method that they used at Ernie Ball sometimes.
If you learn nothing from what I do and from my channel and all that jazz, other than this, you will still be ahead of the game. Strong opinions loosely held. Believe what you believe. Believe that what you do is the way. But be fully prepared to have somebody else who knows more come along and convince you otherwise. I am potentially wrong about many things. In fact, I'm sure I am. But I'm also very open to being taught. And that is one of the reasons why what I'm doing is successful, because I'm not too up my own arse to be taught. Yeah, there we go. Learn that.
Yes, there is. English book. It's just like your with the. Because I was wondering.
This is the worst part. The guitarist is walking around while I've got his guitar on a bench.
Oh yeah.
Covered in fret.
He's the one. Now Dave's the one that you can talk to.
No, it's having somebody actually watch you working on their guitar. Yeah. You watch the blood drain out of their face.
What are you doing? Yeah,
I love it.
I don't care. I'm like, I trust you guys. I like giving my basses to people who can handle it better than I can in terms of all that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care. You go for it.
Respect.
Never once have I been like, what are you doing to my bass? I just show up like. Usually I'm like, what have you done to my bass? This is great.
Thank you very much. But you've chosen a good text, so yeah, that makes a difference. I really need to stop talking and get on with this. Get on with this job. There's a few small bits. I am nearly there. These frets are really sticky.
I've had this
guitar since like 2008 or so.
Yeah.
And I've never had any work done to it. So.
It shows. Look, it finally got to a point where something was low enough that it was starting to buzz. Up until that, especially if you're not doing bends and that sort of thing, you know, you can get away with something that doesn't look perfect. We're in an age where we used to CNC machines and laser cutters, and our eyes are trained to see utter perfection all the time and want it to be perfect. It's often not actually necessary.
Yeah.
Until you get to a point where it's not actually playing properly.
Well, I'm sorry this is so much.
This is fun. This is what we do.
Yeah, you know what's kind of funny? Like, is I'm not a collector, but there's like a few ones that if I could find, and my wife would let me spend the money on it, that I would. Like, I really like the 90s like Patrick Eggle, Tony Iommi guitars.
Oh.
Like just like weird random stuff that wasn't made for very long.
Yeah.
You know, like stuff like that. You know, I think is cool.
Can you make a note of that? I know the guy that designed those. And
oh, really?
He's got a small collection.
No way.
I know Patrick, and so Patrick Eggle, he's fantastic. He's a really cool dude. He looks like the quintessential rock star. I hate him. He's got the hair and everything. I get envy. But
well, you made up for it with
I had to do something drastic.
No, it's cool.
Thank you. I might actually be able to find you one. Genuinely.
That would be interesting. I'd have to talk to the wife to make sure I'm allowed to spend the money, but you know, she's I love my wife very much. Let's just put it that way.
You know, you're on camera. No, it's one of those things. There's always another one to have.
Yeah.
And
well, I kind of just like got to the point where I'm just like, you know what, because I've been with the PRS for like a really long time, and I don't really ask them for anything unless I like need it. So, you know, I've kind of at this point just, you know, I have a lot of guitars, and if I need something, I just ask them. So,
yeah.
You know.
These frets, there will be a difference in the feel now.
Yeah.
Where your string has been leaving the fret, is at the bottom of those divots.
Gotcha.
So on all of the ones that were low, which was the bulk of them, I'm not actually going to change a thing. But on some of the other ones where there wasn't that much damage, it's all going to feel a little bit lower.
Gotcha.
So at some point you may need a refret, but these are relatively narrow frets basically. But you've got the next time it needs to be done in 5 years or so, you will need a refret.
Okay.
But anyway, you're supposed to be on stage, and here I am nattering at you.
Yeah, well, no, it's nice talking with you, man.
Likewise. So I need to get the last little bit of this done before the band go do a bit of a sound check, because I actually rely on hearing what's going on far more than I thought. They're about to do a sound check, and a little bit later today, this is going to be full of people. I've just realised that I've got a bucket list. I want to do a level crown polish on a main stage at a festival with 80,000 people watching me. No, I don't. In this case, I'm not going to be using a machine to polish, so what I'm really doing is protecting the area of the fretboard around the frets. I'm supposed to be working here and this noise.
Apologize for the working conditions.
Drummers have more fun. In the gap, while we wait for Avril to come out and do sound check, I'm going to get a bit of the crowning done.
Have a fresh battery in it.
I am not surprised these frets were divoted. They are so soft. I've said it a few times now, but I'm turning this fret into a flat-topped pyramid, essentially.
way to turn it up is the real power.
Right, so the trick with level crown polish is a good tool. I'm using a traditional crowning tool. Set the tool down on your guitar and then angle it slightly. And what I'm going for, at least initially, and especially when you've got frets this soft, is set the angle and create a flat-topped pyramid out of the fret. In the sanding process, you end up rounding it over a little bit. But yeah, that sanding process on these frets is going to be very, very easy. So file on so the top is flat, angle it off at a slight angle, and then just go down. Now, we do have several levels of file. This is the second cut. If I'd had one here, I would have actually gone with the superfine velour and dealt and had a lot less finishing. I thought the frets would be harder, but this works. So I want a nice line about 3/4 of a millimeter wide on the top of the fret and flat sides on the top, and then we'll round it over and finesse the shape of the fret during the polishing process.
But yeah, I got this guitar with like the cheap, you know, with the, what do you call it when the frets are like sticking over and like get all hot, like
an absolute bastard.
Yeah. So it needed to be like rounded off and like, you know, some basic wiring because it's cheap. So like I bought it thinking that I would like learn how to do stuff myself, and then it's been sitting in the closet for like 6 years. Like, so yeah, I'm really bad at teching. So fortunately, I have Franco here, and you're helping out today.
Franco, you're going to have to give a lesson or two. He's got his headphones in. Just get him to teach you. There are a few things more fun than. And this is what we do. I mean, obviously we've got cameras and bits.
Yeah.
With our YouTube channel, it's teaching people how to build guitars.
Okay.
And we've ended up with the biggest guitar building school in the world.
That's awesome.
And you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of people are learning from us how to do all of that sort of stuff.
That's great. Well, then I'll definitely have to look at the YouTube channel.
Click like and subscribe. No,
Yeah.
but for you, you're hyper focusing on playing.
Yeah.
And getting better at your craft. This is my craft because I realized I could never be a rock star.
Well, you know, and also half of my job now is turned into like learning how to program Kempers and like digitals. Like half the time I spend it's like listening to stems from the record and then like being like, oh, that sounds like a Vox, and then like going through like a million different Vox profiles and then like putting it in the right, you know, MIDI chart position so I can send it to the playback guy for the position, because we have like a clean stage, we don't have pedal boards or anything. It's all automated. So like half of my job is like turned into like being a computer guy. It's like weird. Anyway, hey,
Cool.
Thank you again.
Hey, it's a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Well, we'll see what you think when she's finished.
Yeah.
But, I said 5 years until you need a full refret. They're very soft frets, so maybe 3.
Okay.
There's fire. Yeah. Film the fire.
Fire. For me, it's really cool to see it when like somebody has this video.
Yeah.
But in the moment, I'm like,
Don't die.
I gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Pleasure. Here's a trick for you. Especially in this case, I'm not going to mess around with sandpaper. I've got the fret end dressing file, which is a super, super, super fine file, and I'm going to use that as the next stage of finishing. So this is going to now, I'm going to start out square, and then just gently push it over, and this becomes the almost the final finish on the fret. Every now and then, because it's such a fine file, you need to, just with your finger, get rid of the swarf. In the light, just checking for any scratches left by the crowning file. Yeah, cool. Okay, on to this, which is a new Crimson tool that you need. It's the fret polishing strop, double-sided. Great fun.
See immediate results because I'm playing it in like 2 hours.
You just happened to pitch up literally as we'd finished tuning it up and before we were going to check the action. So action may, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it feels great.
Yeah?
Yeah, thank you so much, man.
Job done. Dinner. Perfect.
Hey, thank you so much, man.
That's a pleasure.
What do I owe you for this?
$1 million. And here I am back at my home workshop. It has been one hell of a day. Well, that was yesterday. Thank you to Franco, to the rest of Avril's team. This is the sort of thing that happens when you talk to people, when you make friends with people and are open to trying anything. I mean, it sounds really difficult, but we were absolutely open to sitting on the side of a stage and watching an amazing artist or two play. I hope you've enjoyed this video. There's going to be lots more of this sort of thing going on, and catch you soon. Goodbye.